Welcome to the stage, Yisrael Shurack.
Thanks very much. I have to say, winning BC's Funniest Rabbi competition was pretty much the highlight of my career. So a lot less publicized than a lot of the other competitions. I think it's mostly because I'm the only contestant. And it takes place in my house. Early this week, I said to my wife, "Are you excited to see the world's funniest Jewish comedian?" She says to me, "You got us tickets to see Jerry Seinfeld?" "No, honey. The other really funny Jewish comedian? Seth Rogen?" I said, "No, sweetie, me in the show this Saturday night, Life is Funny." She said, "You want me to pay $20 for a ticket and the cost of a babysitter to listen to you talk." Needless to say, she couldn't make it this evening. I'm not upset. I'm not bitter. I'm not going to hold a grudge and bring it up for years to come in a roundabout way, never being specific. You know why? Because I'm not a Jewish mother. Went on a family vacation this summer, my wife and 3 kids. We went to the Grand Canyon. But we also thought it would be a really neat idea to drive there. You know how long it takes to get to the Grand Canyon by car? Yeah, 22 hours. Yeah. But I learned a lot about myself on that drive. I always thought I was a really logical person with a lot of patience. Yeah. Come hour 15, not so much. One afternoon, we stopped at a lookout point. I wasn't particularly impressed because the grass wasn't green, there was a bunch of dead trees. But there was a lake, and my wife said, "Any view with water is beautiful." So this morning, I realized I hadn't made the bed, and I left a bunch of my clothes on the floor. And I knew my wife would be upset. But out of the corner of my eye, I see a glass of water on the nightstand. And I realized she would think it was perfect. While traveling, we saw a lot of people without kids on vacation. I like to call those people civilians. Civilians, they do the most amazing thing when they get to their destination. They park their car, then they get out of their car, and they just go. Laughing and smiling. But for those of us traveling with kids, it's not that easy. First, my kids have to find their shoes. But they can't, because the car is so big. And then my 3-year-old is crying inconsolably. Why? Because his brother told him that he was precious. So now I find myself disciplining my older son for calling his brother precious. Did you call your brother precious? Is that nice or not nice? And I can see he's a little bewildered. I thought it was nice. Okay, now you're gonna talk back to me? Okay, you know what? I don't want to hear the word precious for the rest of the trip. Found out recently my kids have a serious medical condition. Yep. It's called spontaneous insatiable reverse hunger. SIRH. It's quite serious. It's not part of the DSM yet, but I've started a petition. Now this ravenous hunger only starts once you've packed all the food away at the bottom of the trunk. And then the child is so hungry, they're in complete agony. So you give them a sandwich. And they take the smallest bite known to man. And they're completely full. But not regular full. So full that now they're in excruciating pain. And all this happens in the parking lot of the museum. And it's about to close in 45 minutes, and you see the civilians walking by, in and out, laughing and smiling and smiling and laughing. Kids are super smart. They make fun of us, and we don't even know it. Look at kids' favorite toys. Play kitchen, pretend lawnmower, pretend vacuum, tools. I come home from work and I ask my 3-year-old, how was your day? He's all, oh, it was great. I made a 4-course lunch, I vacuumed the whole house, fixed the door that you've neglected, and now I'm gonna go mow the lawn. He knows that none of those things are really fun, but he does it just to mess with my head. My son can play with a piece of Lego for over an hour. First, it's a motorcycle, then it's a spaceship, then it's a microphone. Changing with every whim of his desire, no complex transition needed. But if I tell him that we're gonna leave the house, I have to give him tons of notice and 5-minute warnings for half an hour. And that's what the professionals are teaching parents. You have to give kids lots of time for change. But it's a ploy. The kids even have the professionals completely fooled. My 3-year-old has recently decided that he can do everything on his own. And God help you if you try to assist him. Pour his own cereal, cut his own apple. He's basically ready to drive the car. But we're in the Grand Canyon, walking on a trail, and he looks at me and says, "You need to carry me." Why do I need to carry you? Because I don't know how to walk. Okay, show me that you don't know how to walk. So I said to him, give me one good reason why I should carry you. And he looks at me and he says, because I'm precious? Raising kids is tough. It's really tough. I was going to start a support group for people who have kids. Maybe we could share our challenges, learn some new strategies, maybe even find a mentor. But then I found out that this group already exists. It's called AA. I can see some of you are members. I'm not originally from here. I'm from New York. And I have noticed some differences between Vancouverites and New Yorkers. When I first moved here, I went for a walk in my neighborhood with my wife. And as we're walking, I see a man approaching us. And he smiles at me. So I do the natural New Yorker thing. I put my hand over my wallet. Then as we get closer, he says to me, "Good morning. How are you?" I said to my wife, "What's this guy's problem?" I woke up one morning, I look out my window, I see John, my neighbor, picking up garbage in the cul-de-sac. Being from New York, I thought maybe he had acquired some community service hours. I asked my wife. She said, no, John wants to live in a green space. It makes John happy to pick up the garbage in the street. So every night before I go to sleep, I take some garbage from our house and I sprinkle it at the bottom of his driveway. Because if I can make even one person happy, I'm that type of guy. Thanks so much, guys. I'm Yisrael Shurack.
Thank you. Give it up for Yisrael.